Hello, beloveds. Thank you for joining me today. I am so grateful to have your attention. Today we're going to be talking about borderline personality disorder or abandonment issues and relationships. And I have borderline personality disorder and I have a lot of issues with abandonment. They're so deeply ingrained with who I am that I didn't even recognize them as abandonment issues until a couple of years ago when I started to really look up what it meant, what my BPD diagnosis really meant. And I mean, it's up to you whether you benefit from diagnoses or not. I do think that BPD is probably the closest thing to like hysteria. In the old days, and it's just kind of used as a blanket term for like a lot of emotional issues that really intelligent and empathic women specifically connect with and go through. So I have a unique view of what it means to have BPD, and I particularly enjoy looking into what it means on a diagnosable level and then seeing how that applies to my life, and then really trying to heal with the knowledge. So I use the knowledge to help me heal. Not on any medications. I use the Unicult ideology to progress intellectually and emotionally and spiritually, and it's all connected because I really believe that people who have these mental disorders are truly empathic individuals, connected with the state of the world as it stands and connected with the sorrows of the many, and what it means to be. I think people who have mental disorders really have the answers for once they uncover the darkness and once they start to look towards hope. I feel like these are the people who will really have the answers, because depression, anxiety, agoraphobia, bipolar, all these things come from really a cynical mindset kind of gone rampant. And BPD is part of that as well. So for me in particular, I'm going to be talking today just about this one aspect of how I relate to stress in a relationship and conflict. And when I feel conflict in a relationship, it is so painful for me, and I immediately feel like there is no love for me, and that I'm being rejected, and that, and all this is so extreme and dramatic. You can't even imagine how extreme it is if you don't have this disorder. They've studied BPD brains, and they've seen that people who are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder actually experience emotions for longer and more intensely than the average people. So you can imagine what that feels like. I mean, if you're upset for, a couple of seconds, imagine that it goes on for a couple of minutes, and just what that does to the psyche and to the body. So if you're watching and you love someone with borderline personality disorder, you can use that to kind of empathize with them, and you can use that to try to start to get a perspective of what it's like for them and why they're responding in such dramatic ways, is because they're in extreme amounts of pain. So when I go through this conflict in a relationship, and I feel abandoned, and I feel like the person doesn't love me or doesn't want to be with me, then I will push them away, and that's very classic BPD. Just to say, fine, then leave, and then it's like, please come back, because like what you're actually saying is you're saying leave because you want them to say, I'll never leave. I'm here with you forever. I will never let go of this love, and all this like stuff, right? That's actually what I'm trying to do when I say, get out of here. I don't want you near me. Is because I believe that they actually want to be away, and I feel like by saying it, the truth will come out. When the truth is, I just push them away. So That's a difficult thing to maneuver, and obviously that takes two people in a relationship to understand that. That takes you as someone experiencing that level of pain to the point where you're pushing people away to recognize that, and to in more calm times to communicate that to your partner. And it takes a damn strong partner to see that that's not what you really mean, and that you really just are in a lot of pain and need some love. On you, it's up to you to heal that, but with that understanding, it's a lot easier to heal. Another thing that you might see is so when I in order so that I don't push people away, and in order so that I don't just rip all my hair out and flop on the ground and go, just absolutely crazy with my emotions, which I have done. I've broken things. I have extreme emotions. And in order that I don't do that, I've gotten pretty good at expressing exactly what it is that I need. And some people might view it as maybe like a controlling thing. That might, from the surface level, that's how it would probably look. Because if I'm in extreme amounts of pain, I might be like, can you hold me with your arm like this, and then like pet my hair like this, and tell me that you love me in this ear. Like very specific things. And like obviously someone who's just been in an argument with you is not going to be too excited to hold you with their arm around this way and pat your hair this way and whisper that they love you in the other ear. Like that's going to be kind of weird for them, unless they understand that you're doing this from this really extreme place of needing things to be, it's hard to explain, but the way that my BPD works is that I will have this very black and white thinking. And so for me, it's like and I'll be thinking this before I would ask them. It's like, and a lot of it comes too from feeling like I was living in a movie. I felt like I was living in a movie or a book for a really long time. And so part of that is like, that's what someone who loves someone would do. And that to me is the only answer. That's the only way that someone would show you that they loved you, or they don't love you and it's over and we should all die and that's it. Literally, that's how extreme it is. And I'm talking about like down to like specifics about how things are said, what things are said. And to me, it's almost like I see it as it should be, exactly as it should be. And if it's not exactly as it should be, then it's nothing, then it's trash, then it's garbage. That's not true. Again, that's not true. And it's taken me a really long time to realize that, even, because that's how extreme it is. I'm an intelligent, empathic, understanding person. And when I go through these things, I become so blinded by emotion that I truly believe that it is this black or white situation. So you need someone who's going to understand you in these times. And for me, it was very, very, very helpful when I finally got to the point where I could specifically ask for those aspects of care that I needed in those very specific ways. And that has been so much better than throwing fits or crawling under the bed or whatever I was doing. And so now the next step for me is to see that I am loved and to see that things don't need to fit into this category of exactly as I've expected it to, and to see that I am loved beyond that. So go ahead and share your experiences below in the comments if you want, and we can talk more, in the comments about what this all means and techniques for doing this. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I can keep making these videos, because I know there's a lot of people out there with BPD who really suffer through these things, and I just want you to know that it will be okay, and we will get through this. You be blessed.
Could online counseling be even better than in-person treatment? Let's take a quick look at why so many people are switching to online therapy over in-person treatment. There have been several recent studies that have shown online therapy to not only be just as effective as face-to-face counseling, but even more effective in some cases. You only get help from real licensed professionals. You receive the same high level of professional counseling as you would with in-person treatment without even having to leave your home. With in-person counseling, you have to set up an appointment weeks in advance, and you can only speak with your therapist during your one scheduled visit per week. That's not the case with online therapy. With online counseling, you can talk to a licensed therapist right now. You can have extra sessions per week, ask questions whenever you need, and get help whenever you need it, sometimes even 24 hours a day. There's no need to wait for your one weekly session with online therapy. Plus, online therapy is way more convenient than traditional counseling. As I just mentioned, online therapy is not only on your schedule, but you have the convenience of counseling at home whenever you need it. And that also means that you can get counseling on nights and weekends, whenever it's most convenient for you. Another benefit of online counseling is that it's far more confidential than in-person counseling. While you still get all of the benefits of a professional therapist who understands you and your personal issues, they can be located across the country. Depending on the platform, they may only have your name and the state you live in, and not even know what you look like, which makes some people much more comfortable when opening up to their therapist, which can also give some people far better results. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the awkwardness of bumping into your therapist at the grocery store or in a social situation. Which also brings us to the benefit that, if for some reason you don't really like your therapist, you can easily change to a new therapist without having to deal with any embarrassment or awkward situations. Online therapy is far less expensive than in-person treatment. In fact, many people who would otherwise never be able to afford face-to-face treatment are able to get the counseling that they need online. Do you think online therapy might be right for you? If so, give online therapy a try today. You'll get 20% off your first month when you sign up through this link, depressionarchive.com/BPD20. That's depressionarchive.com/BPD20. The link is also in the description below. Give them a try today. You'll be glad you did.